Hey guys, and welcome back to Emerald Coast. So we are down here at the shop because we have gone and made a few purchases. See, we've got a Bobcat skid steer with a bale fork. Got 8 hay bales, and we've got ourselves a flatbed trailer here. The reason we've got this is, of course, we have our sheep. And we need some way to feed our sheep until the early spring, or mid-spring. So we're going to need to come in here, and we're going to obviously load up our hay. Hey GTX, what's up, Andy? I had thought I had found a trailer that proportionally fit for this. Let's see how that proportionally fit for this truck, because I was doing a mod video on Hoff Bergman, and Hoff Bergman's got, of course, that little linear tractor, and he's got a miniaturized trailer to go with it. But even the miniaturized trailer was too tall. The rear wheels were up off the ground, so couldn't use that. So still on the hunt for a decent sized trailer. He's over in his Discord. I don't know if he's here in chat. Hey, Sim Addict. Hey, Riley. Oh, there's Duck. He is here. See if we can have some fun with this Bobcat first person. Didn't put on the head tracking gear, so we'll just have to the old-fashioned way. That worked pretty good. So we're going to use the skid steer down at the sheep and cow farm to obviously feed our sheep until middle of spring. And once the mid-spring hits, we won't need to feed our sheeps anymore. Thinking, am I going to use that tractor to feed the sheep? And if I am, I'm going to have to basically be driving it around quite a bit. This skid steer wasn't too terrible expensive, so let's go ahead and pick it up. Yeah, I did I was talking about Hoff Bergman. I did a video of, I guess, the original Hoff Bergman way back, sometime last fall. And I knew that there was a reloaded version that had changed some things, but I didn't really know what all was changed. And I had a request to do the reloaded version. So I looked at that, been looking at that for a little bit, and well, let's just say you all are in for a heck of a set of videos come next Thursday. All in all, about 3 hours of first impressions, separated out into 3 videos, thankfully. Man, there is a ton of stuff in that map. And now he's up to 1.0.0.6 with all kinds of things. Breeding sheep, breeding pigs, geese, dogs. Still don't get the dog. I really don't understand the dogs other than just they're dogs. They don't seem to produce anything. All kinds of cool things. There's one thing I still haven't figured out what the heck there is for, and that is there's a butcher, and the butcher makes the butcher has basically unused meat. I guess I was talking about the dogs. I think maybe the unused meat goes to the dogs. Again, the dogs don't seem to actually produce anything. Got me a little confused as to what their purpose is. Talk about a good tight spot to maneuver here. The recycling trash bags, that's pretty cool. And the oh no, lots of cool things on the map. And it wasn't until part 2 that I realized that the clouds move on that map. I thought was pretty cool. Alright, they're down. Yeah, she's squatting pretty good, but you know what? This is the truck we're going to use. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're stuck or something. What are we stuck on? There we go. All right. Oh, we got her. Thanks for the suggestion there, Sim Addict. These are actual clouds that are moving across the sky. I didn't know that West Coast had movable clouds. These clearly are moving across the sky in Hoff-Bergman. Definitely loaded down. I don't have it totally to the floor, but we're only doing 40. Yeah, this long, straight, diagonal road. It really extenuates the, you know, the length by putting it diagonal. Oh! Hard on the brakes. Man, this thing did not want to brake in a straight line. Like the sky on this map, it looks really, really nice, but the clouds are static. They don't move. On the other map, they definitely were moving. There we go. All right. Let's feed these sheeps. Got 10 sheep. It should only take one bale. So we have to keep it up so we can see where in the heck we're going. And then what was really cool, when you start the map, you know, it gives like a slideshow of credits in your face, like, you know, everyone gets to see all the credits. So that was pretty cool. I like that. First time I started it up, I forgot to have the M Company graphics in, and there was a nice flashing screen message on the screen, basically telling me that I didn't have the M Company graphics mod in, and that I needed to add that. I thought that was really cool. Yep, he's full. These 8 bales of hay are probably going to last us into next winter, because we're not going to need much hay bales to feed these sheep. We only got 10. Through mid, well, into, you know, through early spring. Can't get it out. Because once mid-spring hits, they'll start eating grass out of the pasture. You won't have to use another bale until winter time next year. But of course, we want to buy these now because we don't. Going to be pretty hard up. I only got 8 bales. I don't need any more. Not when these guys are going to eat out of the grass pasture in, what are we doing? In 4 days. There's only 10 of them. There's only 10 sheep, so they're only going to eat so much. Alright, thanks for dropping by. I don't need another 590 sheep. I've got 716 on Rathlin. I'll have close to 900 sheep by the end of spring next year. This is that cool bobcat from the mod hub that showed up the other day. I guess the other week. And I really don't like the in-game skid steer bale fork. That big old spike. So these I think these bale forks are from Mod Hoster. Oh, no problem. Now that YouTube plugin is really handy to you know, to make your pages look good with extremely little effort. We can use the bobcat to clean out the cows as far as manure. Once we have cows. Use this for the wool. So you start producing the wool. In fact, let's go get that right now. Drop this here. Well, I'm going to go pick up a new mod that I just found today. That is an adjustable width pallet fork. Better make sure it's a skid steer version before I go down there. It's just a wheel front loader. It's only a front loader. Dang it. Is there a front loader to skid steer adapter? It's annoying. Park you here. Yeah, really, you should be jumping out in front of the darn thing, not off to the side. At any rate. Alright. Hey, John, what's up? All right. Need to let's see. Fruit types. That'll tell us if stuff's growing or not. Anybody coming? Is anybody coming? Is anybody coming? It's just... Oh, looks like we were good. So field 3 and 4 doesn't have anything in it yet. Let's go down there and see if we can maybe get a plow job. Got 3 hours before the sawmill closes, so there's pretty much zero chance we'll have a load of logs in time. Mission available. Oh, now there's a mission. Thank you. Well, you're picky. Well, fine, I'll take that one. So I should turn the truck off. Oh, let me see. You're probably going to plant wheat. How did I know? If I manage to buy these, some of these fields up that have wheat on them, we're going to be rolling in the dough once it comes time to send this wheat to the compost master. This field was $200,000. Wish I had gotten the cultivation job on this one. Oh, were you over on Raznik's Emerald Coast server, John? Also, for those that may not be aware, if you are playing or were interested in playing Midtown and just never got around to it, Midtown has just been updated over at FS UK to include most of the cool functionality of Emerald Coast here. So it's got the water trough mod, it's got the bale storage mod, it's got the grazing mod, it's got the dynamic mud, it's got new sky. It's got some other stuff that I'm forgetting, of course. I think you can store wood chips now at the hayloft at the main farm. Oh, it's got the FPS mod, which helps out with you know, not rendering every single thing that's in the building when you're at a distance. Oh, there's ponies in Hofburgman, but not like the Farmer Andy pony that you ride. They apparently you just breed them. So breeding ponies, you have to buy the pony farm. pretty slick. Then next Tuesday we're going to do Thunder Valley. That was a so-so map. It's just a map, which it just exists. Didn't have a lot going on for it, but I took a different approach to looking around the map. Hey, Grandpa Gaming, thanks for coming back. You join the Emerald Coast server? Oh, you can join it. You just need to be in my Discord. There's nothing special requirements on the Emerald Coast multiplayer server. That's Raznik's server, but I just offered to host it, on the Discord. There is a Discord text channel and a voice channel set up for that server. It's Blackbird Farms, Black something Farms. Tell me about the butter building, Darren. I didn't get a chance to actually do any farming on the map, and yeah, I think if I remember the butter building, you pretty much you make the that's the cheese building. You make the cheese, and then you put the other cheese. Then you put a cheese in like the ager and things. I was talking about Thunder Valley. The video that's going to come out on Tuesday. Just a general map video. Oh, what am I doing? This is just a mission. I don't care if it's super careful. Oh yeah, the drivable wheelbarrows. Those are fun. I really like the liquid fertilizer maker in the parking lot across from the main farm. I've used his liquid fertilizer production pack and everything, so I know all about how that works. But I really like the idea of a placeable liquid fertilizer production, and I kind of wished he did an update to the liquid fertilizer mixing mod to allow for a placed production factory of it. I'm sorry to hear that, Sam. I don't recall if I had any issues or not. I think it's just standard crops. So it's not like it suffers that that issue with straw harvest add-on. Yeah, I went into the butcher shop and that other store. Yeah, the doorbell ding dong when you walk through, and the woman and the lady say something, but I'm not really sure what they say. Jim, it's because the map has multi-terrain angle. The hired workers are going straight, but they're going straight based on the angle that the tractor was. So let me show you. You've never played a map with multi-terrain angle. So I'm going in a circle, and you can see that the seeder is basically going in a circle too. Draw a bigger circle. So without multi-terrain angle, you would see this basically in a jagged, like 6 angles. So it would be like a hexagon. But with multi-terrain angle, there are many, many more angles that the game can work with. You get very, very good curves. Let's take a look at that. See how these lines are just curving around? They don't look jagged at all. So that's why they go off, or they look like they go off instead of instead of going straight. Because if you're not quite straight on a standard map and you hit hired help, they'll go straight, because there's only like northwest, or there's only so many directions, like north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest, etc. But with as Darren pointed out, 64 possible angles, if you're just a little bit off, he's going to go straight, but he's going to go straight at that slight angle. It's why, like, here, let's set up GPS. New. So why sometimes setting with GPS, you got to be real careful with how you do it, because you could be lining up the you could be lining them up and not be super straight.
Hey, Pharmer.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
All right. I'm drawing crop circles. Yeah, that's true, GTX. I experienced that myself with when I was prepping Midtown. I had a pre-release version of Midtown, and I was prepping it when I was on a trip with my wife, and I had to use my laptop, which has just embedded graphics, and I basically have to use low graphic settings. And with the low graphic settings, the multi-terrain angle doesn't show up. It's just, visually, it's just regular angles. So I had sent him a message and said, hey, I thought this had multi-terrain angle, but I'm not seeing it. And after a little bit, he was like, what are your graphics settings at? And I'm like, oh, well, they're low. They're low for the laptop. What's everybody's plans for Memorial Day weekend? At least all the folks in the U.S. We don't have too many plans ourselves. We're just going to be, I guess, hanging out the house. Yeah, just go Google it. Figure it out. What do we have down there at the main farm? We've got something, a trailer. Yeah, left something down there. See the icon. Yeah, that's the traditional Memorial Day fare there. Hamburgers and hot dogs. Baked beans, potato salad, macaroni salad. Now, are the hamburgers pre-pattied or are they hand-pattied? That's the question. Then they're real hamburgers there. They're not the meat discs that you get at the store. Some of those, they start out like you know, the size of a nice sized dinner saucer, you know, like a butter dish or whatever, or a bread dish. And when you're all done, they end up like being a little hockey puck. What's that? The darn thing is way too big. Seriously, this thing is way too big. Alright. We'll at least get it seeded and fertilized so we know it has at least one layer of fertilizer on it. Never know what we'll have time to get back to this for it's beyond the point of fertilization. Oh, 90-10 meat. We usually go for the 80-20. But the wife's sister had a cookout, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And Apparently they must have used something like 70-30 meat or something, because they were, I guess the patties were fairly good sized when they started out. But they were char-broiled little discs when they were done. They apparently shrank so much, and they had so much flame up, they were all burnt all to hell. So yeah, that's what happens when you buy cheap meat. The grazing, it should be as soon as there's mowable grass, which is typically mid-autumn, or mid-spring, sorry. So as soon as you could technically mow the grass with a mower, then it would be edible by the animals. That's typically mid-autumn with most geos. It's definitely mid-spring. It's definitely mid-spring on this map. But with the base geo, but if you play with a custom geo, then it may be different depending on the geo settings. Graze mod was added to Midtown. Also, it just was re-released. And he was talking about adding it to Churn Farms and re-releasing that one also. One thing that we need to do at some point is I want to plant some trees in the forest here to basically make up for some of our cutting of trees. And with the 10-year gameplay, we will definitely be able to see the trees go through their full growth cycle. We'll see them go from saplings to full tree growth, and be able to cut them down yet again. So that's something that I want to get into. Just don't know when I'll have the money to afford equipment, but I am excited to be able to do that. Should definitely be able to do it by year 5. What do we have over there? Oh, we got that trailer. It's for wood chips. Should definitely be able to do it by year 5, so that means we'll be able to see 5 full years of growth, at least, by year 10 if we do it on year 5. Alright, so that'll do this field. Enhanced chickens. Yeah, I'm going to put enhanced chickens in here once we have wheat. We'll need to feed our chickens. That'll be a good source of income with egg production. Well, that's something else with Hofbergman was the chicken farming, where you basically grow the eggs, do the chickens to get the eggs. Oh, I could almost buy this field and completely wipe my bank account out. Really do like this Stara cedar. Let me guess, it's going to be wheat. Of course. At least with this one, we can fertilize at the same time. This thing's better than 3. Can't go to the store. See how much wider it is. Four is working out pretty good. Guess we'll leave it at that. Hey Maxwell, what's up? Do I have it in the description? I think I added it to the description. Let's see. I did add it to the description. So Maxwell, it's in the description. Those are most of the mods that are either in the game or have a very good chance of likely being in this series. It is not a list that has mods from previous series. Just this series. Chickens do drink a lot of water. They are the thirstiest chickens ever. And I can't use this on Rathlin because the darn thing's too wide to fit on the ferry. So I had to get the one slightly smaller than this. Darn that ferry, it completely governs how big of equipment you can use. That's something I really wish you could do, is I really wish you could strap equipment to a trailer. But I did see and I did like the Hoff-Bergman thing where they had to buy a pallet that just has 3 straps. So it looked like you could just about put anything on the pallet and strap it down to the pallet and then move the pallet around. That looked pretty innovative. Yeah, but see with that darn ferry, things with locking scripts or autoload scripts seem to conflict pretty bad. You would if you ever tried to pull an autoload trailer, even if you loaded it manually and strapped it down, didn't use autoload at all, you would have issues getting off the ferry. It would just grab and not let go. It is a particularly fun beast to have to mess with. Because the ferry itself has a locking script to lock the tractor and the implement and whatever in place. Else, when you drive, it would just kind of slide all over the place. But when the ferry's locking script grabs, it tends to grab everything. And I don't know what the mechanism is for the ferry to release so you can drive off. But with an auto-load trailer, even if it's unloaded to the center, it's unloaded, it's not in auto-load mode, it's like it grabs a hold of the bales or the pallets and won't let go. The only thing I've been able to do is basically enable auto-load so that the things are just visually there but not actually there, and then it will let me drive off. Making nice stripes on our field down there. Well, the seeder I do have is 4 meters exactly wide, and it did not want to go on the ferry. It kind of got hung up. It's pretty comical how I had to get it across. This one definitely wouldn't have fit. Hey, Eric. I'll do even better. If Darren or GTX could possibly link to the mini map mod that's over at FarmSim, that's what I've got in here. I've got the mini map mod that came out this week. Allows you to do all kinds of things, so you can zoom in and out like that. I can change direction here. I can change size. I can change transparencies. That's transparent. That's the mod, Eric. So I like to run that size, and I can change fruit types, growth, soil composition, normal. I'm going to start using this for my map videos, because I think it shows a decent amount of the map down there in the corner. It's not obtrusive, and I won't have to constantly go to the full screen when I want to see what's going on. It is full screen. No problem, Eric. Just thanks for asking. And I know some folks that watch English YouTube videos just for the purpose of, I guess, getting better with understanding it. Didn't even notice the chain drive on this till just now. See the chains there? Moving around, that is pretty cool. Oh, remote activation of your water troughs? No, Kyle, not in this, because I didn't want the series to be limited by what's available in the more realistic databank. And I am definitely nowhere as capable of doing a conversion myself. I wanted to not be limited to what was in the databank, or the type of equipment and the age of the equipment I wanted to use. I really wanted to do kind of American era 90s and 80s and 60s and 70s type farm equipment. I wanted to do a series, a 10-year series where you know, realistically the series could be based in the late 80s to early 2000s on a farm that theoretically could have farm equipment that goes back as far as the 1960s. And if the darn stuff still works, then they're going to keep using it. So they could have some newer stuff, they could have some older stuff, and the data bank just is not as flexible for what I wanted to do. Farm Sim, we're getting to the point where we're going to say there's an app for that. We're doing enough more realistic on Rathlin. And I'm actually having to cheat that a little bit because I still love those gears. Man, look at all those gears. I didn't even notice that when we were messing with this stuff on when Platinum came out. But yeah, I'm kind of cheating more realistic there because when I culti plowed the fields the first time around. Oh, thanks, Jay Hatcher. There wasn't a more realistic conversion for the T7 I was using. So the T7 was more realistic. And in a recent video where I tried to cultivate a field for canola, which apparently I misspelled canola. Didn't even realize that. But I couldn't pull the culti plow. Hey, John Deere, 27D, thanks. I couldn't pull the culti plow because it just kept spinning. And I finally figured out the reason I couldn't do it was because the T7 had gotten more realistic converted since then. And so when I'm using the culti plow, I have to disable more realistic. Because I'm not going to go out and get it like a T8 to pull a little 3-meter culti plow. Hey Mervin, what's up? I toyed with the idea of doing MR on this map because the map is so flat. But it just the idea of being able to run. Yeah, I want to run the older John Deere, not John Deere. I want to run the older Case stuff, or even before Case. I want to run the old International Harvester stuff, or even Farmall stuff. I want to run some old or older New Holland stuff, and I want to run the Modern Classics DLC, which to this point hasn't been made MR yet. So it's not that you can't run some stuff that is and some stuff that isn't MR'd, but I'm finding lots of folks, lots of YouTube folks that started with MR have some have kind of given up on it a little bit, or maybe aren't as gung-ho on it for every instance as maybe they were initially. Oh, thanks for coming out and hanging out. Those gears are cool. You know how many sheep and cows on Willow River you can support with the Graze mod, Darren? Alright, 2 hours before the stores close. Not really enough time to do much of anything. There's the road. Guess we could head in here into the woods and just get some stuff cut up and maybe get ready for tomorrow for a load of logs. See what our forecast looks like. Oh yeah, I forgot. Rain tomorrow. Rain day 4 and 5. Let's see, where are we at on our moisture? 12%. Oh man, we're down to really getting dried out. Just in time for the rain. That's fabulous, everybody. Look, we don't have too much mud at all now. Compared to what it was like, some streams ago, the mud is very manageable now. At 12%. Still thinking about going in and adjusting this capacity of the truck to be like 5,000 instead of 2,700. We are still doing Germantown. I haven't been on it in close to 3 weeks, but that's because it's in summertime, and actually summer is about over. So, in fact, on Sunday or Monday, they'll be into early autumn on Germantown. And that would be when my sunflowers are ready to be harvested. But the sad thing is I won't be streaming next week because I'll be out of town. So, I'll be harvesting sunflowers from a hotel room with my laptop. So it's kind of the depressing thing. The other map, Valley of the Old Farm, that one is in winter. And actually will be coming out of winter this week also. Again, I will be doing spring planting on that map this week while I'm out of town. So timing is just not working out very well for those two series, and to put it on the YouTube. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to start bringing some trees in from this side of the area. Forest kind of drops off there. Down a hill. Hey Will, what's up? Yeah, I didn't do any Valley of the Old Farm streaming when they were in winter because I didn't really feel like doing any logging. Not with the logging going on here. Oh, it's fine if you're late to the party. Yeah, I've been mentioning it to the folks about Midtown and the updates. I think you came in as I was observing the how the land just falls away on this side of the log cleared. Oh. Oh, don't worry. She'll be in. It's actually a training trip for her. So she'll be in training all day long. And that's when I'll just be on doing the harvesting on Germantown and the planting on the Valley of the Old Farm. Then when she gets out, you know, we'll be doing dinner and hanging out in the evenings. But the laptop can do Farm Sim on low graphics. It definitely does not have any capability of doing streaming at the same time, so it's 4. Yeah, we're on a, she's working, so she's not taking PTO. She's getting paid. The hotel room is free because she's working. So, obviously work is paying for her hotel stay. Work is paying, you know, mileage on her car. So we don't have travel gas expenses. Her food is comped because of work. So it's like a cheap 1-week vacation where all our expenses are is the food I'm eating. And if I go down to the wherever they're having their meals for the conference, then well, I can just eat there too. So 6. Yeah. For the last few years, she went with me when I went to a conference for my office, for my work, and it was a 2-day conference, nothing too grand. Went down the night before, and you know, the total of our 3-day trip was dinner for her the night before the conference, and that was it, because she had lunch and dinner basically with the with my conference. She just ate with us when it was time to eat, and then we had some vendors take us out for dinner the next night. Kids are going to grandma's house. The older kid will be staying at grandma's house for a week after we get back, because her school actually was done. She finished 8th grade last Wednesday. She is going to be in high school next fall. Big times. Just going to measure. Hey, North Armor Gaming, what's up? Let's do 6. No. What am I doing? Pulling these out of the woods first. Why am I cutting them up in the woods? Getting old, but I got a 4-year-old too. So the youngest one, our oldest, will be watching the youngest during the day at Grandma's house. And everything. This winch has to be one of the best mods that lots of people don't know about. Pretty much every stream I get folks wondering, what is that mod that you're using? And still to this day, one of the most popular videos, week in and week out, is how to log manually. Although I have to say that the Emerald Coast map video has kind of taken over the last week. This is the Whoopster. It's with seasons. Tells you all kinds of stuff about all kinds of things. So, 11% ground moisture. This is not fertilized. Here's the map coordinates. And this is the my chainsaw. Obviously, you're not asking about the chainsaw. I'm not being crazy, and oh shucks, I didn't want. I'm not using the axe. If I was completely insane, I would use the axe mod. I'm not that crazy. Alright, 4 logs. Let's see, can we get them out of here? Come on, pull, pull, pull. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. All right. I think the biggest thing I'm going to have problems with is the sell points closing at 6 o'clock. I mean, they're definitely Floridians. Closing up shop at 6 o'clock. And they're probably going to get the early bird buffet down at the Eustace Pharmer buffet shop. This may be too far for the chain. Nope. Sweet. All these things up the hill. Stump. It is pretty awesome. I like to get everything nice lined up. It's easier to work with. Alright, this last one. Now, have you all seen the Griffin helicopter? The logging helicopter? Now, that thing is cool. It's got the winch built into the helicopter. So you can hook it up to a bunch of logs and bring them out of the forest with the helicopter. Come on, let's dig. Come on. Darn mud. Darn mud. I mean, I like doing logging better this way than just going around and using a auto-load trailer. The auto-load trailer just takes some fun out of it, I think, you know? On. On. All right. Four was too much for the winch to pull anymore, apparently. Kept giving me that message. Too heavy. I mean, it came out in the contest during the mod contest, but you know, I guess if you don't log too much, you don't use it. The fact that it also has a trailer hitch, you know, you could just hook it up to the hook a trailer up to it too, like the log trailer. All right. These trees are pretty heavy. Now, more realistic, we wouldn't be able to pull probably 2 of them. I'm just glad you don't have to delimb them 1 limb at a time, like the non-fir, non-evergreen trees. Cutting those things are a complete pain. And soon we're going to skip night and we'll be into spring. Year 1 of spring. And it was suggested that I try to keep like a weather log to then track over the 10 years weather patterns. I thought that sounded like a pretty cool idea, so I'm going to try it. Kind of try to document how many days we have rain, maybe when we have rain, day 1 of spring, day 3 of spring, to see just how variable seasons is. Even so I'll probably start a spreadsheet where I'll just track maybe the daily forecasted temperature. Because I don't think I'm gonna be able to pay attention to in the what the real high and low is. Right, so we'll skip night once we finish cutting these up. That's not what I wanted to do. Then we'll wood chip that part of the tree. Not want to toss you. So, who's going out to see the? Who's going to go out and see the new Star Wars movie? I'm not going to. That's because I don't know. I'm just not getting into the Solo character, not the character, but the actor that they have to portray him. Still have a branch on a tree somewhere? Well, you know, I'm going to use the straps and the forks. That's just what I do. Need to wait. Wait. This winch don't weigh enough to help me move these logs. I guess I'll find the offending log here in a little bit. Now we can drive. So I guess we'll know some more Farm Sim 19 news here in a couple weeks. With E3, maybe? Pick up 3. Alright, good night, John. Boy, it's dark in here. Glad there's no boogeyman scripted in here. I wonder when do they ever give any information out to developers that are registered in the developer network? At some point, would they start giving some news on early design guidance or whatever related to 19 mods? Or are folks literally waiting until 19 comes out to extract the in-game map or maps to see what's different? Oh, there it is. That Cinematic T is all over this. I mean, we're still, I guess, early. I don't know how. I mean, some people are saying October based on when when previous releases were out. I'm wondering if October may be too ambitious. I don't know. So we'll see what kind of information they have at E3. Aren't I like this log trailer? Things just seem to fall and set so well in there. I've messed with log trailers in the past where things seem to always land in crooked. Oh, I can't lift 4 logs. 4 logs are too heavy. 3 are almost too heavy. I was wondering what that light was way off there in the distance, and then I realized, oh, that's daylight. I mean, the October date for me has just been speculation. Nothing's been confirmed that I know of, but it wouldn't surprise me if it isn't later than October. I don't know. Oh no, I lost a log. I don't know. Everyone? All the way back to 9? October is the start of the fourth quarter. From a business standpoint, maybe getting it out in the first part of the fourth quarter of the year would be advantageous. I don't know. Business decision around October, or if it's just that's just when things seem to come out. Oh look, now we're in spring. We got green. Yay, everything's green. All I know is I'm going to be playing 17 for quite a while after 19 comes out. Because of this series. Definitely not going to be anywhere done. 10 years of gameplay by October. It's about as full as it's going to get, I think. Strap this thing down. All right, let's get these logs sold. Let's check. Where are we at now? 10%. Let's drive out a cab and see how bad or how good the mud is now. Kind of excited to get out of here and see what the grass and everything looks like out in the map. Now that we've moved into spring, we'll hopefully have some growth in the fields. I'm thinking about Reefy 1952 and his Old Ridge series from 15 that he's still doing. He's gonna be doing. He's gonna be on that one for a long time too. His goal was 1,000 game hours. I don't think he's that close to being done. The other thing I like about this trailer is it's pretty stable with a full load. It's not like it's teeter-tottering or anything. Let's go to normal. There we are. Our sheep should be starting to produce some wool. We won't get too much, I don't think. Just with 12-day seasons and just 10 sheep. When I started with 17, I guess I started right when the game must have just been out for maybe about a month. Because I remember playing it not early November, but I remember getting it just before Thanksgiving in 2016. Because I remember messing with it during Thanksgiving break. I was traveling at my parents' house. I wonder if I have eggs to sell. I don't think I do. Alright, $120,000. Let's see. Let's see what this brings us. 100. So that's $25,000 for that load. Get a heck of a lot more out of the compost we make off of those wood chips, and we're going to do compost for our grass that we take off of the fields once mid-spring hits. In fact, we need to fertilize our grass. I might just do that now. I hadn't mentioned this. Yeah, we're going to fertilize our grass. That's what we're going to do. Pull off the road here. Look at the shop. One thing I really liked about Hofbergman was the shop interface at the starting point where you have to use the laptop. I wanted to use this thing. Now, I've been told that this does not fill at the bulk fertilizer. Do I have the pallets? Do I have that in? Not put it in. Been told. Let's try it. Told that this doesn't fill at the bulk fertilizer. I hadn't had a chance to try it out yet to confirm. The guys that were trying it, they know what they're doing, so I assume that they were doing it right. Or should you say playing your maps? I had forgotten about the other projects that are still underway. I know some map folks are kind of really looking at 19 and have maybe given up on 17 and are now looking at 19 for release. But not Will. He is definitely not. We don't need to talk about cattle and crops. That's not a sore subject, but it's kind of a disappointing subject. I did kind of their what is it? I picked up in their what do you call it? The kind of like the get starter thing. Just gonna drop this off here. There. And I started it up long enough to figure out I had a graphics glitch. My NVIDIA card. And then I just cut across here. And then I figured out how to get that fixed. And I haven't been in it since. I really like this cut through. Added. Kind of a shortcut to get to the store. I'm wondering if we can't get this filled here at the bulk, how do we modify the mod so that it would work? Let's see if we can't get this to work. Yep, it's a no-go. All right. Oh. Let's go here. Get just a little shot in it. More. Little shot in here. Now let's see if it takes it. That's a no-go there. I have... Ew. Alright. Let's go get our arms. And then we'll get that bucket and see if we can't fill into the bucket. Then dump into there. Is that a checkbox or an XML edit? I think somebody put that tree right there in the way. On purpose. Alright. We're not looking, we're just coming across. Alright. Let's go! Go, 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 go! Made it. I don't have any cheap overloaders. Get that one. I'm gonna use that. I don't want to buy it yet. I guess I have this. Still expensive. You think it'd fill from this bucket? The fill tools bucket? If not, I'll just go in and tweak the mod a little bit and see if I can't figure out how to get the silo trigger that you all are talking about. I probably picked the wrong green. We'll have mismatched green. Oh, we're about to try. Guess not. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're already close to 2 hours. So we're going to call the stream, and I'm going to figure this out offline. And, yeah, I'm hitting R. Got the bucket picked. Not doing anything. So, like I said, I'm going to be out of town next week. I don't know if I'm going to stream any more Emerald Coast until we leave out of town. So, I don't know when we're going to get back here. But we'll be back. I might do some stuff offline. Might not. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Hope you all enjoying the 10-year series. And gonna mess with this thing. Don't want to use it. It's kind of old looking, kind of small. It's cheap. Works good. So until next time, guys. Happy farming.